They were really trying to trap people in Toronto. What are we doing here?
They already feel trapped. But we can talk about that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Nerds, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Down the Jiro, am I ready? I am ready. In a world where, no, we're not in a hostage video. I mean, you may hear dripping from time to time, and someone snoring. No, they're not that. They're not dead. They're like the good kind of dead. Sleeping.
They tired.
They tired. Right? This is The Vent. I'm one of your hosts, Dylan Najiro. I got the
beautiful Nerdsy.
Oh.
Yes.
Welcome. Good night, good morning to you guys.
Yes.
Just want to say enjoy these beautiful double-digit days, because after last week,
you better bring your jacket.
You better bring that winter jacket, man. Now the weather was nice this week, man.
This whole week, I heard, the double digits. I heard it's going to be like 12 to like 17. That's what I was seeing. It was talk of the town for sure.
That term killed.
Yeah.
What was that term that like
the weather? We like to see it though, but then it also kind of reminds us of global warming.
It kind of reminds us of global warming. Like, yo, those are that pay like electrical bills. I mumbled that. Now they're saying that thing's gonna go up though.
Which
electrical bills in general?
Oh,
some people get hit with that times 2, times 3, maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
That's rough. That's rough. I wonder if it's because of all the vacant houses that are happening in our market.
It's just vacant. Wait, I don't think they power them like that though. Only maybe
when they're running, but there's not enough people actually contributing or paying the bill.
Oh, to the
masses, exactly.
Ah,
so
okay. Interesting take. Okay.
Do we now have to pick up the slack because of this?
I mean, that's one angle to look at it. I think another is I don't know. There's everything's up right now. Inflation is like they're talking about a recession like next year, but like it's now year. I think next year.
What
are you talking about next year?
People, remember recessions. Like when they talk about recessions, it's just when the economy itself is back to back going down twice, two quarters in a business quarter. Here's what
it's bad out here, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. Back to back.
People are like, we're in an era right now. If you notice, like a lot of people are just hitting with all kinds of like you will get a ticket on this. You will have to pay this type of fee. You will have to pay. Like there's a lot of nickel and diming. If you notice, see, I'm telling you, people. I wish I had a piece of change here. People are taking their hand like this and scraping the coins off the table.
That's wild.
The city is like doing the equivalent of like going in the couch and just like looking for
change.
like
they penny pinch it.
But their change is like, okay, we need okay, you evaded the fare. Pay up now.
Yeah. Oh, so they're getting tighter on everything.
They're getting tighter. Yeah, it seems. That's part of the recessions in general. Like like stuff gets tighter. Like they'd be like, yo, you vaping? Nah, I was just holding my vape. No, you vaping and thing. Not $100.
Wow.
$200.
Wow. So they're trying to gouge it out of people in different ways. Gotcha.
Yo, I feel like a heist is happening right now as I speak. Like
not a heist.
No, like I think like they're just scraping enough money, and then
wherever they can.
When something happens, they'll be like, okay, we're good. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about you guys, but we're good.
Yeah.
Right?
That's wild. That's super wild. Well, tells you about Toronto.
It tells you about Toronto. Like, no wonder people are fleeing here.
Yo, honestly, that is actually something that I have noticed I don't know if it's a trend, but I definitely know that's something that's happening on social media. A lot of people are like, yo, Canada is starting to look like the worst place alive. And I need to move.
Yeah.
People are now migrating outside of Canada. And they're slowly trying to live and develop in different countries now, which is very interesting.
Yeah, like I know people that moved to, not know people, like I read people moving from here to like Vancouver.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Calgary, Alberta.
Yeah. Some people are actually moving altogether to the States.
Someone just went to the States.
Yeah.
Where they went to Texas, the DMV area. For those that don't know what DMV means, it's Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia's. Yes, there's Virginia's. I didn't know that either. There's a Virginia, and then there's like West Virginia. Never going to West Virginia.
Yes, just like there's a North and South Carolina.
North and South Carolina.
Yeah.
Watch out in South Carolina. But nah, people are fed up, man. Some people went back home, like into the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like they just said, you know what?
They picked up and moved back home. Yeah.
South America.
Yeah. I've heard that too. There's a few, I think at least 3 people I know have moved back to the Caribbean.
Wow.
And then I know one person who's moved to the States. Yeah. I think that this is like,
I remember my prediction may have been right, because I've been thinking about this way since 25. I'm like, okay, here's, I think I'm speaking for me, but like, I think, I've had access to peak Toronto. I think the peak was like 2013, honestly.
Now, I was actually going to think something else.
What do you think?
Do you think that Toronto or Canada itself is really just a temporary generational thing?
These days, it's starting to feel like that.
Right? Like you're coming from, or if you say you're coming from one country, you immigrate to Canada to have a better life, learn whatever it is, settle, have your kids, and then by the next generation or the grandchildren, they're actually meant to go back home.
That's a boomerang back, actually.
Yeah. Or just go somewhere else.
Or go somewhere completely. Because I said, I think we're first generation, right? So, our other host as well. Shout out to James, who's in Vegas right now.
Right, living the vida loca.
We're all, so me, Z right here, and James. We are like first generation, right? So.
Yes, first generation Canadian, even though I wasn't born here. But yes, first generation.
Oh, you weren't? Technically,
I was not born in Canada. I was born in the Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow.
I was born in St. Vincent.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes.
So
I'm an island girl.
Island, yeah.
In birth.
In birth.
But Canadian all the way.
All the way, right?
In raising. Yeah, because I wasn't born in Canada. Yes, we're first generation, but like, I wasn't. I'm just not officially born in Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm an island girl. Born in St. Vincent.
But nah, like that's what we were saying before. The whole,
pivot, migrate, immigrate, and then come here. Immigrants come here, and it's like Canada's like a pit stop. Gain stuff, gain your resources, and then go
gain
back
knowledge
home.
And then go back. Some Mexicans in the United States do that.
Yes.
Like they come here, boom, children are born, they're a citizen. Some choose to stay, and then the next generation. Usually the generation that comes in, they'll kind of stay here for a little bit and be like, all right, it's time to go back.
Yeah, or they'll go under retirement.
Yeah. So.
Which makes sense, though. I think that's actually really good when you think of it.
In a way. Because, because back home, they have the good Wi-Fi in the airport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? But then if they were to, like put fiber cable through the whole land, I would even consider...
moving back?
Because at this point... Because I'm pretty sure you can get it with the... What's it called? The work from home. And I'm pretty sure you can work with an American company.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, I'm in the Caribbean.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know how the job force is in the Caribbean per se. Like,
that's the tricky part, yeah.
That's one thing. But I mean, again, that goes back to economics, right? Like, you have to know what the actual needs of the place is, what's not what's lacking, what isn't lacking, what they need, what resources they need in order for them to develop. And of course, like, as you go up the tiers of like responsibilities, then you start to understand like more so, how does your country play a factor in the whole world, global economics? You know, some places were considered places had full industries that were just over agriculture alone, and that's it.
And that's it. Sadly,
right? I mean, like, Canada is what top for lumber, exactly.
Lumber,
and the rest of the world doesn't have that like we do.
Fresh water soon. That's gonna be a whole nother.
Exactly, that's another thing.
So war of the water. That's gonna be a thing in the future.
That's what we trade in the world.
Maple syrup, weed now.
Oh, I don't.
Nurses because they don't pay them.
Oh yeah, this is true. We be sending off our nurses.
IT because they don't pay them.
Oh yeah, that too.
Actors because
for whatever reason we just be exporting our actors.
Musicians. Oh
wow, we be giving a lot.
Like that's a lot of
things that we need.
Like for those who are listening, like I think we were looking on the web the other day. And we were processing like how much like Canadian talent is out there, and it's a lot. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. Like yeah, we got nice talent here, bro.
Yeah,
but they don't stay here.
No.
But then if you stay here, you're kind of not moving correctly.
Yeah, you're pigeonholed a little.
Like you seen the video of like Shawn Mendes?
What about him?
Like he was saying how like when Drake brought him out at the OVO Fest, he was really like ecstatic. He was like, yo, these people like still rock with my music and everything. Because it's like you second guess yourself. I can see artists here second guessing themselves. Like, am I really as good as they say? Like,
well, I'm sorry. I will be very honest.
Well,
this is the part that people probably will not agree with me about. And that's okay. You know, as we say on the Vent podcast, not every opinion that is shared on the podcast is a group agreement. Oh, no. Sometimes it is the opinion of the speaker and only the speaker. So do not hold anybody else responsible for their opinion.
The disclaimer. Oh, no.
Right?
Oh, no.
But the people who sometimes feel like they should be getting all the credit in the world.
Right, okay.
Should not. And they need to understand and recognize this. Wow. You are not meeting the level of expectations, okay? All right.
Wow.
That is me saying it with a lot of passion and attitude.
Wow, that's
However.
Okay. Like I said, with the rappers like are born in the city, right? I think in their case they had I say musicians in general. What if it's a thing where they came out too early, and it took
on the scene?
They just came out too early on the scene,
right? As in, like, they're not developed enough, or their genre, their music, their style, is just it's the wrong place, wrong time.
I'll put some. I wish I had a pie chart. If I had a nice apple pie chart,
yes,
I would put at least like a good 2 slices of like your product is good. It's just it's the wrong time. It's like the audience is not gravitating towards it. It's like this is good, but like sometimes label mates don't even know like how do I market this? Like how do I do this? And like with Toronto in particular, it took a lot of people just to break that door open to the States. Like
but I think that's also because we don't understand trends here in Canada. And I think that's our issue.
You see, the minute you just said that, I'm like, what is a trend? I don't...
Exactly. What is that? What is a trend here? Like, a lot of the things that we take on are very much American.
To a fault, yeah, because that's the actual, like, what's it called? That's like where the major media companies are, right? So... Right.
So a lot of the stuff, like, okay, if anything, maybe a trend that's here in Canada is the girls who, I know that at one point, maybe telly-tings were a trend.
I want that.
Yeah, that was a real thing. Where telly-tings, T-I-N-G-S. Tings. And basically, it was to be a girl.
Okay.
Who you could take to a hotel and do a lot of things with.
Oh, you're talking about that? I thought there was like a group I never heard of before.
No.
I mean,
this was an era of time where girls were like, if you weren't a telly-ting, are you really anything?
Oh, wow. Some people out here are messing around for main shot meals. For shawarma, manchuwak. It's brutal out here. Especially with this recession, man. People are literally juking for food. That's a feud. Food.
This is a thing. Then
but this, okay, telly-tings though.
Yes, telly-tings. This was a Toronto thing at one point. I mean, it's also the same how like how the mandem or like the Toronto man slang was a whole thing. Or if you're not talking like that, like if you don't have the Toronto slang dictionary down, are you really Toronto?
Are you really? Oh, you know, this is an interesting factoid. Usually, you notice newer people that like migrated to the city, they say the word Toronto. But obviously, if you grew up here, everyone just says Toronto. Listen to what I just said. Toronto. There's a difference between Toronto and Toronto. Like, some people, we can tell who's new and who's, you know. I found that always interesting. Like, no one pronounces they don't enunciate the T really. It's almost like they're saying Toronto, but not Toronto. I thought that was always interesting.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of things. But, like, I think that's part of the reason. But I understand in that respect. I think that comes down to that. Like, we don't have many trends here. We aren't focused on our own trends. A lot of the influences are definitely from the States. And, like...
The incoming call. Now, hold on. I'm going to patch you in. Hold on. Let me put you on mute. Go ahead.
Yeah. But, like, yeah. So, like, a lot of the things that we have here in Canada, or in Toronto, I should say specifically, we are very heavily influenced by American culture, especially urban over here. But yeah, like that is a big reason. So
now calling in live from Vegas,
hey,
aka the Devil State,
Sin City.
Sin City, yeah, that's a thing, man. James, one of our co-hosts. How is it going?
Well, you know, I didn't really have fun from it. I had Hawaiian food. Hawaiian food's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, yo. I never knew Hawaiian food tastes so good, yo. I'm really shocked, yo.
You're shocked.
But
okay.
I've been alright. It's been a while because I'm just starting to chew food because, you know, wisdom teeth and stuff. So now you can actually chew and taste the flavors and stuff.
You can. All right. It's okay.
You know.
Now.
It's not like meat and like, hey yo, I don't like good food.
Right.
Prime example. Hey yo.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, how are you guys doing? What are you guys talking about over there? Is it cold out there?
No, it's actually warm. We're getting into the double digits over here.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We were just talking about how people are fleeing Toronto. They don't like the city. They don't like the smell. They don't like the prices. They don't like the people. People are just fleeing here.
The rats are taking over. Ever since they opened up Young and Eglinton, the rats are taking over.
I heard. You say the rats?
No. Apparently, so compared to every Canadian city, we have the most rats.
Really?
We have the most. Yeah.
We've hit most?
We hit the most.
What?
Top, number one.
And that's the thing. There's a difference between a rat and a mouse.
Mouse is a very...
Mouse trap and they flee.
What?
But like a rat, you take that with a mouse trap, that's very frustrating. You know what I mean? That's really they do that. They chase after things.
Man,
all that stuff. It's a rat, bro.
Rat is a whole nother
species.
Like a whole nother like rodent. Like
That's wild.
Shoot through wire, shoot through drywall. Like they poop everywhere.
This is true.
They leap. They can leap.
Yeah.
They can climb anything. Which, all right, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, they don't fight the wire and hold on to the wire. Like, you don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's some evil creatures, man. I don't
Not
know.
them holding on to each side of the wire and just going through it and then looking up and seeing you and being like, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Put them on the blue sticky traps, they'll run with the blue stick. Like, at least miles from, you know, if you from the hood and all that stuff, you put a mouse on the blue mouse track, you hear them squeal a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know, yo. I think it's a rat demic, yo.
Dude, that is not a good thing, man.
Because I swear, like, there's a bunch of people talking about rats lately, how they're just coming out the woodwork. That's not a good sign.
No, it's not.
And meanwhile, like you're in Eglinton and Young, and you paid how much for your condo? And you're like, yo, we have rat problems. And you try to explain to them like, yo, I need this thing like rectified and everything, and they're just looking at you like, hey man, we'll get to it when we're ready.
That's wild.
They're like, well, the rats moved in. Sorry.
Which is, I don't know. Wait, it's very echoey in the back. What's going on there? Is there strippers? Gambling?
No. There's a live band playing.
Live band.
Oh, it's a live band.
Music.
Oh, okay. Is it? Is it yeah.
I don't know. They're playing, you know, the music and all that other stuff.
Oh, okay.
One thing I've learned about Vegas is, there's a lot of walking, like a whole heap of walking.
There's a lot.
Like, you're gonna go walk in high heels and think you're cute. You are paying sacrifice.
So bunions, corns.
You might roll your ankle a couple times.
Oh, yo, like a basketball player.
Listen to me. You will feel it, and then it's a heat too. You know, it's one thing to walk, but hot foot walk.
I forget. Nevada's hot. Nevada's a little too hot, but it's a desert.
How's the weather over there?
I wish I had more loop because I wanted to go to the. I think when I come back here again, I might come back here again. I want to go to the Vegas Speedway, so I can drive like a Lambo and drive all those cars in like the 5 laps on the race course.
Oh, cool. Okay.
If I drive the Lambo, my new name will be Lambo Loop. You know, now I'll be flying everywhere.
Lambo Lupe.
Yeah, Lambo Loop. Not everybody ever got to drive one. So, and they have McLarens and all that stuff and ATVs. I was thinking to go to the Grand Canyon, but
I forgot that's in Nevada too, right? The Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Look at me not knowing geography.
I'm here for work, so it's like it's hard. Like I want to do some stuff, but it's like I don't know. I'm here for work, right?
It's like your time. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I miss y'all. I miss y'all. I wish I was potted. All this nonsense is happening with Kanye and all these things.
Now, okay.
Whoa. I'm ready. I'm ready for the Kanye conversation.
So James, are you ready? Are you ready to go in the deep end?
Well,
are you gonna?
I can't stay too long, but I'm gonna say this.
Oh, okay.
These are my takes when I think about like Kanye.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Hold on, let me pause you there a second. Everyone today so far said, "Look, this is my opinion. This is not the groups. It's just mine. Don't attack me. Don't
Don't tag me a group. It's okay.
Not move my bank account somewhere. Not like remove your cosign from me.
Right.
I made you lots of money.
Facts.
Just I am not. Okay. Here's the thing. I feel like Kanye. That guy is a mess.
He needs help. Yes.
We can pray for that individual. And someone told me this. There's this whole take about, when there's certain people when they get into the game and they get knee deep in the game, when they come out trying to say things, they sound crazy, but they act crazy at the same time.
They say and act crazy at the same time.
So it's like, it's one of those things that, like, we can see that he's crazy, but we don't know the environment this man is in.
Ooh, you're going to...
And he does. Like, there's a lot of people we hear about that get into the game and then they come out and they say, like, they're exposing stuff, but at the same time, they sound and do crazy things. And it's like, is that just the counter... Is that the side effect of leaving something? You know what I mean? That's deeper than all of us. But at the same time,
it's a lot of same time.
That Kanye is very heavily influenced by whoever he's around.
Yeah, that's too many yes people.
What do you mean? Like every one of us.
Which is
but to the point that, like, he doesn't know what he's talking about, but he has like a talking point. Like, there's some people that, they're with a lot of, like, let's say somebody that's pro-black.
Right.
Right? And they meet a bunch of cold pro-black people and they say certain things and you hear a certain quote.
Terminologies and stuff like that.
Kanye would be the one that pop up out of nowhere and be like, George Bush don't care about black people. It sounds absurd. It sounds great. But at the same time, it's a bold statement, but you didn't need to learn much to know the bold statement. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, he apologized for that, though.
Which he really shouldn't. I mean, I don't think he should apologize for the George Bush thing.
No. He explained why he apologized, and it's a valid reason.
He explained why
he explained why he was apologizing, and his reason is very valid.
And what was his reasoning for the George Bush quote?
So, why he was apologizing? He's like, at the time, obviously, it was something that was good.
Yeah.
Those were his views at the time.
Right.
But when he came about it now, he said that, unfortunately, he said, I have created a precedent. And I created a precedent as a young black figure to make it okay to make mockery of the president of the world, of like your country.
Of your country, yeah.
And he's like...
But at the same time, like, if you ever, like, go out in public and talk crazy about the president, they're at your crib.
I mean...
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why he said that he apologized for that. Because he was the one who made it okay when it's not okay.
So basically, he greenlit George Bush after that statement. In a way, like you said, yo, if I can say it, any of y'all can say it. No,
but that's the part that he was like, that was wrong of him to do.
But Kanye is I think he's heavy influenced in a sense. But at the same time, there's something going on. Like, I don't know.
In the environment. Because that was your original point. In the environment, something is happening, which is Hollywood land, basically.
And that's the thing. Before people write him off as crazy, which he is, it's an aspect.
Bruh.
At the same time,
he's clinically.
Yeah, but anybody who does any... Okay, mind you.
Anything that's out of the ordinary is crazy.
Exactly. Everybody who's out of the ordinary. He is what? The first billionaire black person that we are witnessing in our time?
In our time.
He is going to be considered and labeled crazy.
I feel like we have to fact check that, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I feel like we have to fact check Kanye sometimes.
His net worth?
A lot of the things
if he has a billion in assets, he has a billion in assets.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He's a billionaire.
And then
but he said he had 120 million in his account.
Like just certain things he say, like it's like it's just strange to me. It's just very strange.
Why is it strange?
I'm not co-signing what he says because I feel like I need to fact check what he says.
Oh, so okay.
And then,
wait, so for those who are listening at home,
that is
his current net worth. I don't know about the end of the year, but right now for 2022, according to Google, it is $2 billion USD.
So Canadian, that is what?
Blanca, don't even do that currency.
with our weak currency.
Weak currency, bro. $140. I wanted $140 US.
Right.
And it became $190 something.
What?
Bills Canadian. That's Jesus.
What?
That would hurt.
So 2 million. Oh, he would be nice over here. So 2 million in US would be 2 billion in US will be 2.7 billion in Canadian dollars.
2.7?
That's pretty good.
In net worth, yeah.
Yeah, but the way I see it, to be honest, he's just I think people need to literally check on the man.
No, but yes, that I would say.
You guys to him or whatever, check on the man and don't write him off because he needs to write people off. But I feel like we need to literally check on the man. Like, yo, are you good? Because I don't think he's good at all. Like, I think he's something's going on.
I've been told Z earlier before, like, why do I get the feeling he's trying to call a hit on himself?
I think so.
See, like, it's like, nah, like, shoot me. Shoot me.
But why? Why? But if you're saying that, who are you talking to?
People he can't name, really.
Yeah. So who are you talking to? So us as viewers, he's clearly talking to somebody.
I'm gonna have to head out, though.
This will definitely be, because by the next week, who knows what he's gonna do?
Exactly.
But
be safe out there, and what's up, right?
All right, thank you. Take care. Stay safe.
See you.
All right, but now, like,
as we were trying to avoid the Ye conversation, but as some of you guys know, Ye has definitely been in the headlines again, and has been consistently, I think all year this year, has consistently been in the headlines, the medias, the tabloids.
Since the breakup of his wife, yeah.
Since.
He's been always, the Pete saga.
Always.
Dating that random white thing.
He's dated at least 3 now.
Like,
oh, yeah. So.
All over the place, man.
Now he has switched his Make America Great Again hat to 2024.
Oh, wait, what? Hold on, wait.
Yes.
He did the graphic design for it and printed it.
On the hat. So.
Oh, Make America.
A lot.
And put
2024. A lot of people are alluding that the 2024 hat is a symbolism of him running for president.
Which, the last time he put his own ballot, I think like 50,000 people voted for him. But then 100,000 people voted for Harambe. So I don't know what's going on with that. But
it could also mean that could be an album drop.
2020, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right?
2024.
So he is definitely making headlines for many things, whether it is anti-Semitic comments to his selling of different companies like Gap, Adidas, Nike, and all these relationships, to expressing his concerns of being let go or no longer talking to certain celebrities, certain moguls, certain CEOs and persons who are responsible in the fashion industry. And as well, the biggest one that has hit there the most, the end of his relationship and the current status of his divorce.
Yes, ex-wife, Kim.
There's a lot going on for Ye.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's...
The thing is, what's crazy is the media has probably eaten so much information on Ye.
They're selling a lot of ads.
Just because.
It's like, no, I think in terms of like, if I have to compare it, Trump to him, when Trump was like running, the media ate well. And they're still eating well because he's out the way. And then they're like, nah, we're going to raid his house now.
Right.
Nah, we're going to trial him for
all these things.
Like, it sells money.
Right. So it's just so interesting how the media definitely puts a lens and a perspective on this individual. And also, I think for me, it was more so the fact that, are we also a contributing factor to poking the bear as a public?
As a public, yeah, once you have like social media and everything like that, yeah.
Right?
I knew something, he was going to get banned quickly too, because like, the minute, like Elon unbanned him, because he was banned on Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. As soon as unbanned, caps lock, and just started going off. And then that's when and then the whole anti-Semitic thing slipped out. So he was like on a whole rant. Like, he was just like, boom, boom, boom.
Maybe these were all the things in his draft.
No, like, I'm pretty sure Kanye is like, yeah, he drafts stuff. Because there's a setting on Twitter where you can save your draft tweet and put specific dates for it too. So you know what's crazy? Yo, we're going crazy. He may have written that like
a long time
ago.
And then when it came back,
just bam, 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 bam. Makes you wonder, man.
Right? So, a lot of things. A lot of the stories definitely have been more so on negative perspectives, I think. I don't think of all the things that are going on, have we actually heard anything positive, that we heard anything about recognizing what he is doing, but more so just a plague of everything that is wrong with him and by him.
Well, clinically, there's something wrong with it. Like, they say there's something wrong with like bipolarism, manic depressant, personality disorder, and stuff like that. But no, man, I think this is one of the things where, like, I don't think he's medicated right now. He's just like off the rocker. Because if you notice, like, when he is medicated, he'll have regular just frequency,
personally,
pace.
I think he's just not around somebody where they actually listen to him.
Yes.
People who respond like that are people who tend to not have people to talk to.
Right, yeah.
Especially, like, unconditional.
Yeah, like I'm here for you no matter what.
Yes. I'm here to listen, and I'm not going to do anything about it or whatever. I think that's just what's happening.
A lot of people need that. I realized that growing up, like, a lot of people just want to vent. They want to release. And then they go, and then they just go on another day. Yeah.
A lot of times that's really it. People have conflicts that they need to let go. Right. And they just need to talk it out. Doesn't mean that it needs to be solved. It just needs to be let go.
It needs to be released, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that...
At a certain point, I'll say.
Yes. I think that a lot of times people don't recognize that too also happens. And we forget that this is a person who has his invasion of privacy taken, like, his privacy invaded. I mean...
You know the curse about being a celebrity? I think Big Gip said it on Big Gip is from Goody Mob, legendary rap group from Atlanta. He said, "Yo, it's not just the dotted line that comes with it. It's like, yo, you have to be prepared for people to be in your life forever, like forever, like so.
Even if you don't want them,
even if you don't want them to, they're in your life forever, right?
Yeah,
that was a powerful thing that stuck with me, like one of the many quotes.
Yeah, I mean, if anything happens, like, think of it. Oprah Winfrey having friends with certain people, and this one person decides to go and, like, let's say they're a drug lord. She's associated regardless if they stopped talking 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Now you're affiliated.
Now you're,
It's like, how did you not know? Like, I stopped talking to this person 5 years ago. I don't know. Like,
right.
But because in the public scene you had such a great relationship, how would you not know?
How would you not know, right?
Unless, especially if they never broadcast about a split of your friendship in the first place.
Yes, yeah. Some of them, some celebrities, they don't, and people in general, they don't broadcast a split. It's just like you meet up with someone in real life, and then you're catching up, and you're like, "Oh, do you speak with someone?" Like, no, I haven't spoken with them in like 3 years. I had that convo recently with someone that we went to high school with. Yeah, I was naming all these people off, and he's like, "I don't what? I haven't spoken to that person in like years. Like,
trust me, I understand how that feels.
They don't make it like public. It's just they do the action first without speaking about it, and then they go from there. Nah, man, he needs to
what?
Just clamp down. Like, he has to take his medication. He has to. Right? Even though those medications have like side effects out because some of those medications, they give you weight gain. Which is why I think he admitted that. He's like, I had to get lipo because like this medication was like puffing me up. You have to constantly like cut down. You have to constantly be in the gym and stuff like that. But it's like, nah, like this ain't it either. Because it's like you're in mad psychosis right now. Like you're just like,
yeah, it may be.
But he definitely is someone to be like, like he just walks into like one of his houses and someone's just there, just chilling, and he just going off. He's giving you Twitter threads for 2 hours, and the person's listening. Like, yeah, that's crazy. I know. Sometimes they respond back and ask questions, and then you let them rant, and then it's like a release. Once they release, they're just like, maybe I don't have to go on Twitter and I just said what I said, and all right, we go my business.
I think it's more than that. Personally, I think that
you think it's more.
I do. I don't want to just say that, it's mental health and that's the reason. I think there's a lot of external factors that are definitely at play. And mind you, I feel like as a group or as a people, I think that people who would definitely understand more would be people who are responsible for many people. So who are CEOs or who are whatnot, right? Because you're dealing with power. You're dealing with perception. And you're dealing with reputation. These are all things that a lot of people actually on a day-to-day don't actually give a shit about. Being frank, when's the last time you actually thought about how you come off to somebody else and how you coming off to somebody else is going to damage or influence your money, your livelihood, the way you eat, the way you dress? When's the last time?
I can't think of a time recently, really. And it definitely every one of us has
had that.
Has had that before, but like consistently.
But consistently, no. Now imagine being in that state of a world where you consistently are worried about those things. How you're perceived by others.
The public,
what that looks like, and then who you associate with. Consistently keeping with those people. So now you're a people pleaser on top of it. And on top of it, just being with the trends or being with like what's in versus what you actually feel.
What you want to feel like and what to do,
right? You then get a little far removed from what you really are.
It's like the pop singer that had like we were just talking about earlier, that has like the wholesome songs and everything. And then they see the trend of where like other pop singers are going, and they're like, "Well, for me to be in this game again, I gotta sex it up." Yeah, that's what happens. Right? Yes, I gotta like be provocative now. I gotta be sultry, and then.
But if you choose not to, then you get kicked out the game altogether.
Shelved. You get shelved. Yeah,
exactly.
Right. I think which artist had to do that? Not had to do it, but it was like you can tell like they were persuaded to do that. If you listen to her, you notice when she first came out, it was like very
concealed, covered,
and then now it's like, damn, I don't want to compete with these, but if the label, I say allegedly, if the label's not giving me the push I need, they're shelving me. What am I gonna do, right? Like I need to make money. I got bills to pay. I got people to take care of, and stuff like that. So it's like they're caught in a weird spot. That people pleaser thing
it's real.
Right.
So imagine I think that's where I'm coming from. My opinion is really that there are external factors that are at play that are constantly something that he has to choose. Do I choose to feel how I want to feel? Or do I continue to play the game of what everybody else is telling me to play?
Right.
And continue to project things that I don't believe in.
Right.
Because right now, when he was there talking about like people working out, he was talking about like how America is considered an obese country. And why would he be promoting obesity?
Right.
When for him, it's like, he's like, my friend Lizzo is a big girl.
Right.
But she still promotes exercising. But because she's promoting exercising now, they reduce all the like actual like traffic going to her because She's actually producing and creating content around health.
Interesting. That's it.
So that's like a point, right? Where it's like, they don't want that. If the agenda or the idea is that they want to continue to promote unhealthy eating, consumerism and fatty foods, all these other stuff, then having any opinion other than that, you're definitely getting flagged and shut down or banned or shadowed.
The thing with the Lizzo too, like, there's a reason they specifically like pushed and chose her. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't really see other backgrounds promoted like that. Mm-hmm. Like how she looks, how she dresses, and carry on. Like I can't even think of like what do you call it?
BBW.
BBW, yeah. I'm trying to think like. No, like I can't think of like any other color that has promoted that. Mm-hmm. And now that you just mentioned the whole like, she's aware of like, she's obviously aware of herself. She grew up with herself, right? But the fact she's promoting, it's good to exercise still, eat as healthy as you can, and the alleged now they're kind of like, oh, we don't want you to be healthy. We're gonna just pull your.
And I watch Lizzo when she does her stretches. She does her stretches with my favorite stretcher, Wade Bryant. Okay. Love him.
That's a funny.
Love him.
My favorite stretcher.
That
could be taken many ways. It could be taken many ways.
But that's part of the reason why, like, I'm like, oh, okay, like Lizzo. But when I started seeing that, and then I recognized what Kanye was saying, I was like, I really started tapping in. I was like, is what he's saying true?
Right.
Is the traffic reducing because she's actually promoting health?
Health, yeah. I always had a prediction too, like, as she continues on her journey, I guess, like, I don't know if she's doing a weight loss journey, but the day, like, she becomes, like, I won't say model skinny, but, like, a modest size, you won't really see her promoted like that. I promise you that. They're going to be like, we'll go for another. We'll go for a clone. We'll go for another person to take your place.
Full-figured women who are in the industry have definitely been hounded for, especially when they lose weight, because it's like your whole purpose in the industry is because of your weight.
Like so you go with the example of Adele then, right? Because even when she lost her weight, like people were going, "Hey, nah,
It's like that is your selling point, your weight. And it's interesting to know how much weight does matter.
Weird. Either way, like it can.
It matters.
It matters in a way. That's strange.
Right? But little things, I don't think Kanye is. I don't think he's having an episode.
You don't think so?
I don't. I honestly think that he is now in a space where he is recognizing, okay, I'm not going to, what'd you say? Okay, he's no longer going to regurgitate what's being said to him.
Like the producer in his ear, he's just like, he's taking that earpiece
the earpiece off. Yep.
And he's going full.
Yes. And I think that he's a very intelligent guy, very smart. Reads a lot of things that I think the average person doesn't really read.
Right.
And I think he also, another thing that where there's environment in play, how many people of his color, of his stature, of his kind, coming from the places that he's been, with the environment that he's from, are in the space that he currently is. As well, have the same attitude, mindset, drive, and motivation. As well as discipline as he does.
Because I think, his label mate, or ex-label mate at the time now, Jay-Z is in the same billionaire net worth thing. But I haven't heard Jay-Z go at certain groups like that. Although, the thing I heard before, which I'll have to double verify for those, not only for myself, but for those who are listening. When Jay-Z dropped 444 in 2017, I think his more personal rap album, like what's going on in his life and all that. He had a song called Story of OJ, but then in the song Story of OJ, in one of the verses, He was talking about, you want to know how you build credit? You don't buy this, you do. Mm-hmm. And he was getting a little flack for quote unquote telling secrets. I gotta verify that.
To build people up? Wow.
I'll say allegedly. I'm gonna definitely double fact check that.
Why wouldn't we want to build people up?
Because hold on, I'm gonna look for the lyrics too.
This is giving a little bit of, you know what? Actually, you know what this is giving? This is definitely giving a conversation that I was having the other day about this person saying that they've traveled a few places in the States, primarily the States and Canada.
Right.
And they said that Toronto is the only city that has gatekeepers. That's what they said to me.
Okay.
And I was like, wowzers.
That made me stutter a little bit. I was like, hold on.
Right? Now, okay, for those who are listening, what is a gatekeeper? I'll define it.
We will Google that. Now, meanwhile you're Googling that, I just want to get to the... hold on. So, in the story of OJ by Jay-Z on the 444 album, in the interlude before the second verse, he says, you want to know what's more important than throwing away money at a strip club? Credit. You ever wonder why Jewish people own all the property in America? This is how they did it. He said, that's in the lyrics. Verse 2, financial freedom, my only hope. F living rich and dying broke. I bought some artwork for $1 million. 2 years later, that is worth $2 million. A few years later, that shit is worth $8 million. I can't wait to give this shit to my children. Y'all think it's bougie. I'm like, it's fine. I'm trying to give you $1 million worth of game for $9.99 because that's a common CD. I turned that 2 to 4, 4 to 8. I turned my life into a nice first week release date. Y'all out here still taking advantage of me and my Nigeros taking real chances. Y'all on the gram holding money to your ear. There's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. So imagine so he talked about credit.
Ooh, baby.
But because he said Jewish people own all property in America.
But we have to also recognize, he said, we don't call that money over here. Yeah. What is that then? Where is here?
Where is here? That is, where is here? Where is
You're
here?
there. We know where you are.
Yeah.
But where is here?
That is
right? So we are recognizing that we are in two different worlds.
Right.
That is what that says. He understands what your goals are, what you're trying to achieve, and what you're trying to call this. But I'm letting you know that what you think is top shelf,
right,
ain't it?
It's not. Yeah.
It's nowhere near.
Now hold on. I forgot the part of verse 1 too. I'm gonna cut it in half. He says, "Take your drug money and buy the neighborhood. That's how you rinse it." I bought every V12 engine. Wish I could take it back to the beginning. I could have bought a place in Dumbo before it was Dumbo for $2 million. That same building today is worth $25 million. Guess I'm feeling Dumbo. So it's a play on Dumbo. Dumbo's Disney, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a nice play on words. And like, damn, instead of buying cars, I should have bought a house. I should have bought houses with
the money that I received.
Yeah. And then I would have like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, gatekeeper. So the obvious one that tends to guard a gate.
Boom.
Wow. That's number one. Number two is a person who controls access.
There it is, yeah. I can see why someone, the person you spoke to the other day, would say that about Toronto. Control the access. Which is why the Mendes thing that was bringing up before the pod. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like he wasn't given good access to the American audience, like many Canadian artists, like many Toronto artists. Like, I feel if Mendes went to the States, I think he would be a better. He'd have more satisfaction with his career. I can't really speak for him, but he mentioned, it was in the Breakfast television interview that he fell out of love with music because the quote unquote politics and gatekeeping and stuff like that. He didn't say gatekeeping, I'm just saying.
Right.
in general, right?
See, and that makes me question, like, because like we were saying, what trends actually exist here in Toronto?
Right.
Because if you know what a trend is, then you know exactly, I guess that would lead you to who a gatekeeper is. Because they're the ones pumping out the trends.
They're making the trends, yeah.
So because we don't really know, that's probably why we don't have. Because we don't know where they are or who they are.
Now this person you spoke to, what other cities did they visit? Since they were back and forth from...
They went to a lot of the big cities that have media and entertainment.
Right.
So like the Miami, the Floridas, the LA. And they said that they went to both sides of LA.
They meant north and south.
Yes. I think they said Texas.
Houston, okay. Dallas, I can see that.
And then and New York.
They didn't go to Atlanta.
No, not that I remember.
Damn, they didn't go to Atlanta. Damn. And you have to reach there.
And then they came to Toronto. They went to Vancouver. They went to Montreal. And they said that Toronto is the only place that has gatekeepers.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Is Toronto the only or one of the many cities
that have
gatekeepers controlling access in? As I said, I guess we're talking about entertainment, right? So entertainment. Leave a comment in a little bit about that. That's interesting.
And I feel like that's more than just like within one culture too.
I'm really thinking on that now. Hold on. Do we have a gatekeeper problem in the city?
In the city? I mean, who gets all the money?
Who gets all the money?
That was actually an issue that had happened at one point. Well, was a little in. I have my ear to the floor every once in a while.
Okay.
But
ear to the streets.
Yes. But basically what was said is that grants were given or deployed by the government.
Right.
And only a certain group of people got access to these grants.
Oh.
And were awarded. And those who were sub people who got awarded to those grants, they're like, what happened to the money and how is it being implemented and used? So it's like the same people who keep applying are the same people who keep getting awarded these grants.
Oh, okay.
So new people don't seem to be getting it either.
Interesting.
So.
And the thing with our grant system too, like we've seen the application. There's a lot of like rules and the most one. I think one of the many that stuck out for me was you can't make your own media.
Yeah.
They strictly say no. You cannot make your own radio. You can't make your own news segment. It's like they say no. They forbid it. Right.
Which is wild. Which is super wild.
Which is, you wouldn't think about it.
Wild. You would think that having, I don't know, like the States is okay with more than one station monopolizing on media and capturing stories. They make more because of it. We over here, what are we making?
Like we can be digital, but it's like, but to ask for like government assistance.
For a network?
Yeah, they're kind of like, no.
Oh, okay, not for government assistance. I get that.
But I think Brandon Gomez is leading the charge. He's one of the
as a freelancer.
Yeah, he's the one that like said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it myself.
But he has a very holistic and wholesome way of going about his stuff.
I mean,
no swearing, no cussing.
That would be a good thing, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ensuring that all the facts and everybody's having this conversation with him.
Right.
He's doing real reporting. What's it called? On the ground and everything like that.
Right.
Probably has a few writers.
Yeah. Like he's.
Yeah.
Like even the look of the show is like it's not cheap looking. It's like no, it's pretty
quality,
right? Yeah, it's like many people just need to study what like legacy media does, and then just be like, you know what, I can do this myself. Right.
Even if that's your like, but it's
okay.
I think that a lot of people don't know how to approach it from the right angle. And I think that's the reason why a lot of them don't succeed.
He would definitely have to. I don't think he'll tell the game now. Probably, you know how to be like. they're in the moment working towards the goal. So I don't know if they have time to be like, okay, this is how I said, you know what? I'm gonna make my own network, right? I can only guess like, he studied all the equipment in there and be like, because the same way I did it, I'm like, I don't need all this equipment really. And the only thing, I don't have to be live like that either, because I can just go on have the internet.
Yeah,
the internet is really like one of those equalizers that like I don't really need a studio. It'd be nice, it's a nice bonus, but it's not necessary, right? And as long as you do your master business license, all you need is to get a permit to shoot in certain areas, and then maybe I just gave it how to do it. It's just you legitimize your company. You make sure you get those worker permits. You don't do like run and gun, because they'll tell you to like, get out of here, right? You definitely,
and just so you guys know, permits minimum cost is $400 depending on where you are. Per 2 hour to 4 hour slots.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's a good to mention that. Yeah, and then you just continue maintaining relationships and networks, because like a person's not gonna complain that the camera's there. No, they're like, I got this camera to talk to. I got this camera to talk to. Oh, you guys look okay. Yeah. I like your stuff. No, shine the camera on me too. You know, people are what's the word? Narcissists in a sense. Like they're like, nah, like shine as much lights and cameras and microphones as you can.
Get me on my good side.
Get me on my good side. Right? No, for those who are listening, that's what you have to do. You just have to be like, you gotta take the ball and then be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it this way.
How many people actually have access to resources like that, or somebody who is willing to actually give that information to people?
That's part of the.
I could definitely understand that, but yes, I know the answer for it on my side for my own experiences, but it's like really a question that I'm really posing.
Yeah, who's gonna give up the game like that? Yeah,
especially for free.
Especially for. And even then, like, even then you pay for the service, right? Sometimes, I don't know if they'll tell
all of it,
right? So
yeah, some business structures are built where it doesn't matter how much you pay, they're not going to give you the whole clip in one go.
You can't get the Krabby Patty recipe, the secret recipe. You can't get it.
You get one a day.
You get no, the
one a month.
They'll drip feed you.
Yeah. But you may not get the complete thing.
You may not get the complete thing. I don't know. This whole media thing is just, it's interesting.
This started with Ye. And my thing with Ye is exactly that. I really don't think he is sick. I think that's really the issue. It's really external factors that are playing a part into the demise or the deterioration of his image. Oh yeah, that was good, eh? That was good. That was good.
Yeah, that's
because there's more than one voice that's around saying these things, right?
That's the thing. He's not the first or the last person that was gonna say like rants about the industry and like.
Yeah, and how many people have been actually you know what? This trend of artists, especially in America, because I don't know in Canada. We don't have an industry like that here in Canada to have an opposition or even have these issues. But in America, how many times have we heard on many occasions?
They robbed me. I didn't get paid.
Robbed.
They shelved my album. I can't make money.
Sexual exploitation.
That's a essay. Yeah, sexual assaults.
Right? What's the other one? Converting to ideologies, mythologies that they do not agree with.
Right?
Or promoting things that they do not agree with. Selling their soul.
Yeah. Like, Glorilla, right? She recently went on and said, the sign that she sung, FNN, she laid the verses down, right? but the person who produced it, called Hit Kid, they produced the music, did the hook. Now the thing with the thing is that when someone does the production, they get like a certain fee and credits and stuff like that. You do the hook, you get a certain fee. Verses are like the least. So she did the verses. He did most to all of the hook. Produced it. When she was looking around for studio time, obviously to get studio time, you have to pay a fee.
Yes.
And not saying magic can't happen like the first day, but like it takes a couple of sessions, right, to make like a hit song or whatever, right? But because it was financed by Hit Kid allegedly, he owns that whole song.
Wow.
So
nothing for her. So
she can't even like. It's right now. It's mixed. It's like it's either she claims I don't make 1 cent off that song.
Wow.
Because the thing when you're naming off all the things, a lot of backdoor loophole, like you'll do a session and then you don't know if your producer is gonna sell the song to another record label.
Else. Yeah.
And then by the time you try to collect your money, they're like, oh, that song's already registered.
Yeah.
I didn't register it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
That's how she found out.
That's wild. That's crazy.
She'll make money off that. So
yeah,
she had to sign to another label. Which, if 2 people are going in your pockets, like, I don't know how you get money like that either. But signed to another label, and now she's just doing a media tour right now, taking interviews and stuff like that. But it's like, yo, I don't make money off that song.
See, and that's what's interesting.
It's a lot of, but it's music business.
It is music business. That's really the part that really is.
It's really like
the emphasis here.
The emphasis, yeah.
You know how that's the thing. How many complaints have we heard
throughout the years? Yeah, it's a lot of artists. And
how come nothing has changed?
That's the most bittersweet part about it. Nothing has
changed. These stories have not changed.
There's still a lineup you could see from of people wanting to get in.
Years.
Since when did music become a business? Since the 20s?
Yeah.
Since the 20s, yeah.
Yeah, when records were being sold, especially when it came from Black artists.
Yeah.
Black artists who did not get the recognition, who were not paid, who were not compensated. During those times.
It's like I'm doing a show, but I can't get paid from it because I'm paying a producer, then I'm paying this person, then paying this person.
Not even that. They know that you can sing. They put you on a vinyl, and then that's it. You're done for the day.
No, but that's.
And they're selling your image, your voice, your everything, and you don't get a cent. How often or how long ago was that happening? And who was actually in control of the business then?
I mean, who controls the business like that? That's actually a good question.
The production, the producing of vinyls, the recording, the studios. The studios got paid.
Yeah,
the vinyls got paid for. The sounding and whatever, they got paid. But the person on the voice never got paid. They were the last person to get paid if they even got compensated.
If they got paid. And even to step away from like Black people in general, anybody like Nirvana didn't get paid like that. That's Nirvana. Man. Elvis didn't get paid like that. That's Elvis.
Yo,
Elvis died broke.
That is making me think of so many things. Imagine,
like the Beach Boys had to sell their publishing for $500,000.
But just imagine,
and they flipped it and they made tens of millions of it on the Beach Boy catalog.
Yo, you know what you're just making me think of right now?
What happened?
Guys, epiphany. Imagine that same contract that we're talking about from the 1920s.
Right.
As time went by, people only started making a little bit of noise and certain things changed in certain clauses of that same contract.
So
the contract that we're seeing now,
right,
is probably the same contract
since then.
Just minor changes,
like a line here, paragraph here.
Yeah, because if people are still not owning their own songs, but the record label still gets their fit. The recording studio still gets their stuff. The whoever's in production still gets their stuff.
Right.
That doesn't sound any different than of an era of time that we all were not born in, contract-wise.
And the funny thing is too is like, from then to now, like they've definitely cut. Like there's no artist development anymore. That's why anytime you watch an interview of like someone new, they'll be like, why
do they talk like this? Yeah.
There's no development talent.
I feel like the last era of that was like Jay-Z.
90s, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the 90s is the last era for talent development, artistry development. That budget is cut out, and you can tell by the music. Like you're just like, you can tell how someone be interviewed, right?
Sorry, my mind is being blown right now.
No, you can tell by like the quality of music
and just even the quality of business of that same artist afterwards.
Right. And think of it.
And longevity of their business, of their career.
It's not as long as it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Marvin Gaye had a career of like, Marvin Gaye's career was like 20 years or something like that. Before he passed away.
Right? We have Diana Ross. We have Tina Turner. You know, we had the times of like, and all of them went through.
And there's no, wait a minute. There's no like legends like anymore. Like there's no replacing of legends of any genre, I'll say. Like you can't name a rock band in the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. There's no major rock band you hear.
That I'm hearing.
There's no, they've tried to make the next Prince, that doesn't work. They tried to make the next Michael Jackson, that didn't work. Remember, because like I said, there was cuts along the way. There's no artist development, there's nothing. There's the 360 deal where it's like, they, instead of making money off your album, and then your show money will take a little.
It's like your debt is taking, you accumulate so much debt, but your proceeds and your profit pays off the debt, and it basically becomes like this.
And I think in one aspect, it's also artists would sell their merch at concerts because that's how they make that. That's how they get bread.
Everything that their name is associated to.
The 360 is like, nah, we're taking a percentage, all that. So merch, your album sales, the advertisements that play on your TikTok, on your YouTube, your show money. If I don't care if you get a deal with Balenciaga, we're taking a piece. I don't care if you have a deal with Adidas, Nike, Tommy Hilfiger,
it's very
Gucci.
invasive.
It's very like, nah, like we gotta touch everything. That's a 360 though. I think every new artist now, they can't, there's no, nah, I don't want that deal type thing. It's like, well, good luck to you. Right? Like I said, there's no like the last R&B act. Like maybe her, I guess. As like a true R&B
solo R&B.
Yeah, like. Wait a minute. Where's the group R&B? What the hell happened? Since the 90s, there may be some
the 2000s.
2000s here, but like, where's the group R&B?
Destiny's Child. I mean, they're
you see what I'm saying?
They're there. I mean, I've seen one that was Canadian. They sound amazing.
Right.
I honestly wish them the best. I don't remember what their name is right now.
Oh no, that's very awkward.
I know. But they were a beautiful group of women, very talented. I think they're from Vancouver, not Toronto.
You might have shown me who they look like before.
I think I have.
I think you showed me before.
And like,
but then see, there's the problem with Canada. How are they?
Right? Why are they not being? But then this goes back to what stations and networks do we have available that actually publicize and promote that stuff? We used to once upon a time have a Much Music
where they would, if it was still around, they'll be able to go to Much Music,
right?
Say who we are, what we do, where we're from. They'll play the music live there, get interviewed live there by a VJ, as they call it.
Much Music was a place of prestige, as much as we don't want to recognize it as that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't.
You were everything and everything. If you were you were being promoted and performing at Much Music.
Right.
People lined up around the block to see an artist.
Like, yo, like Madonna's here? Nah, I'm going Friday. Because Electric Circus was Fridays, right? So yeah.
Yes.
Nah, I'm going Friday.
People would leave their homes. They leave work just to go to this intimate setting live.
Crystal Waters is here? Yo, I'm going Friday.
Right?
Like, what?
That was a real thing. Like, and where is it now? Where? So it's like stuff like that where it's like we had great things and now all of a sudden
nothing.
What's happening? Who was responsible for that?
I mean, because Bell turned it off. They're just like, we're going in a new direction.
But it was working. Or was it?
Okay, don't quote me on this, guys. But Electric Circus in particular.
Who is Electric Circus? I've heard of them before.
It's under Bell. Still under City. But a situation happened and they used that situation to be like, we're just going to pull the plug on this completely. And then eventually the Much Music thing collapsed a little after that.
Oh, so their specialty was live television.
Right.
Nice. Oh, well, you can't control that. Oh.
Live. But live, there's no better thing than live. That's
okay. So here's their what is this called? Their summary.
Right.
So Electric Circus was a Canadian live dance music television program that aired on Much Music and City TV from September 16, 1988 to December 12, 2003.
Oh, wow. Okay. 2003.
The name originated from a nightclub that once existed at City TV's first studio at 99 Queen Street East in Toronto.
Yeah, that's the history there.
Wowzers.
Since 2003.
2003. So who came in after? I remember this face. Amanda Walsh.
Sounds familiar. Amanda Walsh. Yeah, she looks familiar,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Electric Circus. Wow, from 1988 to 2003, guys.
Yeah. And meanwhile, that's happening. MTV stopped playing videos. One day too. So
let's see. Let's do Much Music. As you can see, we're on the spur, right in the moment.
In the moment, right? But researching the show is good. It's just
right now you can see you're learning just as we are learning too.
As we are learning, right?
Yes. So as we were sitting here talking about these different places. So, as we say, Much Music World Headquarters. World Headquarters? So, was it a part of the world?
World, that they call it World Headquarters.
Yeah. Is located on 299 Queen Street West in downtown Toronto, as seen as... Oh, it's a sister channel to CTV comedy channel, MTV.
Oh, okay. Okay. That kind of...
But their own... Much Studios. That is not what I was thinking it was. Whoa. Whoa. That threw me for a loop.
Wait.
Much is a Canadian English language specialty channel.
Specialty.
Owned by BCE, which is Bell, through its Bell Media subsidiary that airs programming aimed at teenagers and young adults.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
At the time.
I love how they have to say English language. Do they say things as in like French language too?
I guess by saying that they say no French of any kind.
That's interesting.
None of that.
They have to specialize that?
They have to specifically say English, yeah.
So owner is BCE, parent is Bell Media, sister channels are CTV Comedy Channel, MTV and MTV2. Didn't know there was a difference.
Right.
Is broadcast nationwide.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
Okay, so let's give a little history. Yes, I live for history, guys. It's always good to know about what happened beforehand. Before you existed, so you understand how you are today. Okay? So you failed to repeat history, okay? That's a good lesson. Read your history. All right. I mean, sometimes you have to tell adults that. Learn your history so you do not repeat what your parents did. All right. Good.
That's right. So
exactly. All right. So Much Music launched in August 31st, 1984 under the ownership of Chum Limited. So they were under country.
And Chum was by themselves. Okay, that's okay.
And was originally focused on music programming, including blocks of music videos and original series focusing on Canadian musicians. Focus was on Canadian musicians. Do you hear that? All right.
Specifically, yeah.
Specifically, that's how it started. Okay. In the years since its acquisition by Bell, Much has canceled the majority of its music programming due to budget and staffing cuts. But how did we go from focusing solely on Canadian music to all of a sudden getting budget cut? Okay, you know what?
I have, I shouldn't say I have, but a relative knows another person that got let go. And they were a camera operator. And they just told him, can you pack your stuff up for noon? And just,
wow.
the TV world is ruthless. It's really like that. They're like, can you you have till 12.
That's crazy.
You have till 12 and you need to pack up. And, you can say goodbye to the people in the office. And
that's wild.
Any questions, concerns?
I love this professional voice.
No, but I witnessed that. Jeez,
that's rough.
I'll tell the story for another day.
Okay. Well, as it says, the channel's full name was retired in 2013 in reflection of its decreasing reliance on music-related programming. Okay. So it lost its name because it was losing its music. Oh, Much Music.
Right.
Now just Much.
Much, yeah.
Got you. Originally a premium pay television service. Because like what I said, notoriety. If you went there, it was a big deal. Yeah. All right. Pay television service. This genre has been removed by the CRTC's rules.
Oh, okay.
So who's a CRTC? We'll define that just now.
We'll define that just now.
Allowing Much to broadcast as a domestic, ad-supported service as of September 1st, 1989. A digital network for social media content under the Much Music name launched on July 7th, 2021. Yes, because I met a girl who was actually working to be a VR on there, and I think she works there now.
But what else happened that year?
That's very, very...
So that definitely got delayed. Because during COVID, they're probably like,
yeah,
let's reboot this. And they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So they were under Chum from 1984 to 2006.
So Chum got bought out then. No,
okay. No, Chum still exists.
So they just
or did Chum change hands?
Hold on a minute.
Right?
Hold on.
See? And Chum is a radio.
Chum FM, yeah.
Chum is radio.
They don't really say FM anymore. They say Chum 104.5. And they have the iHeartRadio thing, which iHeartRadio is like a damn near the parent, and then you have Breakfast Club on iHeart.
Oh, so that's who the competition is.
Not even competition. It's just
who owns iHeart? It's not Canadian.
That is a good question. Okay,
so you see how we are definitely breaking things down so you guys can understand too why Canadian music is not getting what it needs to get. Okay. We always constantly sit here and talk about Canadian music and the things.
So iHeart's basically...
Well, here's why.
Discovery of music, radio, and podcast. Wow.
Music, radio, and podcast.
So think of it as like, I'll use flea market terms. They're basically...
a conglomerate.
A conglomerate, essentially. Mm-hmm. And then any podcast, radio...
Mm-hmm. And
television that signs up with them, they therefore now have access, giving you like advertisements, letting you What am I trying to say? Basically, you download the app and you have access to your favorite programs that you watch. They're basically another, like, you can look at them as like a digital, I don't want to call them a cable company, but a digital something. I'm lost for words here right now.
Guys,
pardon me, people.
Guys, imagine this. As we're talking about iHeart, and I'm out here reading. Imagine, Much Music was then set up in America. They had a simulation over there, and it was launched in 1994 through a partnership with Rainbow Media.
Okay.
The network was largely a simulcast of the Canadian version with U.S. advertising and acquired programs. The network would go into its own direction over time, eventually rebranding as Fuse.
Oh, okay.
So Fuse is actually us. The American version.
But the American version.
See, we are everywhere. But do we know our history? Do we guys? All right. But as we were talking about iHeart, right? So in 1995, we're doing a whole lot of woes right now. In 1995, the annual Canadian Music Video Awards was renamed to the Much Music Video Awards. Yes, and I remember seeing those because they used to have them in the streets of Toronto, and they would block off different places in Toronto to have these awards.
Oh, Queens. Yeah, Queens,
yes. Presently known as iHeart Radio MMVAs.
Much Music Award, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big deal, too.
Yes, it was.
But I noticed...
as of 2018.
That's the last...
That is when they changed their name.
That's when they changed their name.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed they get all kinds of American stars with it, and I noticed like at a certain year before the decline, they only started getting like Canadian really only.
So Bell bought them in 2006.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so CRTC. Just so we know what CRTC stands for. I believe that's the Canadian... that's the thing that says that whether or not we are allowed to have certain information promoted and broadcast accurately.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Canadian Radio, Television, and
Telecommunications Commission.
Yeah.
So we are an administrative tribunal that operates at arm's length from the federal government.
Founded April 1st, 1968. Okay, that's a while back.
So here's their mission statement. It says, "We are dedicated to ensuring that Canadians have access to a world-class communication system that promotes innovation and enriches their lives. Our role is to implement the laws and regulations set by parliamentarians who create legislation and departments that set policies. We regulate and supervise broadcasting and telecommunications in the public interest."
Wow.
So they're the group of people that say and regulate broadcasting.
They have to say, yeah.
They say what we can put out and what we don't put out.
Which is...
And it's funny because there was a whole... law that was brought up during Trudeau's election about CRTC and that bylaw being changed.
Right, okay.
And there was a whole controversy about it, about how the media influences Canada. There was also the lockdown of how external broadcasting would no longer be allowed within Canada. So we would not be able to have, we would not be able to view American broadcasting or have access to other places within the world.
Oh, okay. That's
essentially what it would have been. Limiting all of that access.
I forgot it was a bill, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're trying to like.
Mm-hmm.
But the internet's too advanced.
It is, but they would have controlled the internet.
Like,
they would have controlled it too.
They're trying to now. A lot of people are trying to control it, like, but I think some people realize anytime like certain countries where you don't want like communication to happen, right? They just pull the plug. Like because they tried we'll block a website. People figure out to get around it. They tried throttling the speeds.
Yes. See, but that's the issue that they're having. Okay, hear me out, guys. Hear me out. The reason why I'm saying that, they're doing too much of saying, oh, the other places are influencing our own people way too much. We should shut them down. No, how about you make more content that's actually interesting? And how about this? Why don't we, as I was saying in the original point, why don't we have more media spaces allowed to do broadcasting?
That is a good question to ask.
You already took down one of them. Much music.
And that's still on hold right now. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Well, they turned it into a social media thing.
Which,
it's funny. Again, my ears to the streets. Somebody had told me about them before they actually came and launched.
Oh, okay.
I was aware of them coming back before they actually resurfaced on the internet.
Interesting. And even then, because how far the internet is now, someone would ask, like, as a content creator, it's like, why would I sign for Butch and Bell? Like, I just go on YouTube and pretty much pull 100,000 by myself. There's some of these numbers I heard, like,
yeah, they're making good money.
20 here, 50, 100,000 through sponsorship, click per impression or whatever it's called. He's like, yeah, why should I be locked down here? And according to what we were talking about with Patricia last week, have the potential to be like, there may be a clause where like you can't compete. So like, if you're gonna put on your YouTube, yeah, but like we don't put it really anywhere else. Like, it's like they're behind the curve on that. Like the social media thing should have been happening when social media was happening, like the peak of it, as opposed to having it now. Because people are gonna be like, well, I can just do this for myself. Right?
So what does that say? Does that say that we
behind the times? No, there's some. It's behind the times.
That's what it sounds like. It really does. No, like it just simply says that we don't. That's one.
They do this.
We're behind the times.
Ta-da!
But 2,
and everyone looks back like, really? You're 2 years too late. You're 3 years too late. You're 5 years too late. Come on.
I was gonna say that's the other thing. Maybe we do not have the manpower as well as the technology to keep up.
Definitely manpower. I'll say that.
I think that's really
and I think there's certain people that stay in place that try to apply too long, and they try to apply like 1985 rules to today. It doesn't work like that. There's too many.
They're not with the times.
They're not with the times,
man.
But we should wrap this up though.
Yes.
Good. Like I said, this Kanye thing is ever developing. So
yes, and look at that. That definitely was a stem of an American artist who also is currently having such a fight with the media.
With basically, the entertainment industry,
right?
In general.
However, look at the parallel that we are having here in Toronto with our fight with having independent voices in media.
In media, right?
Whoa. This is wild.
Right.
So,
for those listening, I want to say thank you for listening to the program. If you have any questions, concerns, complaints, shout out us an email. askthevent@gmail.com. ASKVENT. What? I said it wrong. ASKTHEVENT @gmail.com. Because if you do askvent.com, we don't know who you're emailing.
You gotta ask the vent.
Ask thevent@gmail.com. Plugs. Do you have anything to promote?
Of course. You can definitely follow me on Instagram at thenerdz, THENERDZZZ. As well, follow me on my photography page if you're ready to book. Because, I'm here to do marketing. Because I think we should, especially young entrepreneurs who are startups, who are developing themselves in the market, who are creatives, etc., etc. I want to give you the quality that I think you deserve. So, definitely hit me up, book with me, and we will work on getting your campaigns together. What? Okay. But you can find me on Instagram, my photography page, at zzz.studioto, which is ZZ.studioto. Yeah. And yourself?
Delnijiro, DELNIJIRO. Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, that's it really. Just a support. Also follow Jay Hunterville also at Instagram.
Yes.
J.Hunterville. And also follow his Twitch page.
Lou Pistols.
That's LUPIS TOL. Let me try that again. Lou Pistols. LUPISTOL. I think that's how you spell it.
Oh, that's funny.
I think that's how you spell it.
But yes, go definitely hit his page up and send your support, your love. And yeah, if you have any, as we said, questions, concerns, comments, complaints, or even just advice, suggestions, or even want to give us topics that you want to hear our opinions on for next episode, definitely drop it in the comments, send us a DM on the page, and please know we do read them. We do.
Yeah.
So.
Like I think the 50 Cent video, people off the rip were like, nah, his son doesn't deserve that money. People were saying that in the comments. I was like, oh, okay, wow. Something about that one riled people up. I don't know. Yeah.
I hear you. So. All right. Well, we'll see you in the next episode. Later days, guys.
Later days. Peace.
Peace.